Welcome back to the Weight Room. Another great episode. Just want to remind you to subscribe to whatever platform you're listening to and enjoy the episode. Hello.
Hi.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course.
Very exciting.
If you would like to introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about you, who you are.
My name's Maddie. Actually, everyone on Instagram knows me as Madeleine, but everyone calls me Maddie. I'm 22 and I'm in final year now of university. I study at the University of Edinburgh and I'm doing history there, so I'll be finished this year, which is a bit scary. I'm also doing personal training qualification at the moment with Origin. I started doing that kind of at the beginning of this year at uni. That's me really.
What drove you to want to get that personal training certification?
I think since I started training, weight training properly, I kind of have wanted, since I've started really enjoying it, I kind of wanted to know more. And also, because I go to the gym a lot, I've helped out quite a few of my friends, and I just wanted to be able to get that qualification to hopefully eventually be able to help other people, maybe do some online coaching and generally just learn some more, because there's so much to learn doing it. I just want to be able to help more people basically on a qualified basis.
How did you start off? Did you have somebody to help you out, or did you kind of just go off of?
Yeah, so that was another reason why I wanted to do the PT qualification, because before I went to uni, I did a gap year and I did a lot of traveling. I ate lots of food, so I put on some weight. And then in my first year at university, I put on quite a bit of weight. I was never really big, but I was just unfit and I wasn't really very happy with the way that I looked. So I started going to the gym, in my second year properly. I started going to classes, spin classes and body pump. And then in that summer following my second year at uni, I had a couple of sessions with a personal trainer, predominantly just doing weight training. And then that actually was what got me into it. And I think just having someone show me what to do, that gave me the confidence to be able to start doing it, which is another reason I wanted to do the qualification myself. So since then I've kind of just predominantly weight trained, and I've just grown to absolutely love it. And it's changed the way I look, and also just the way I feel I literally could not do uni now without doing it. It's also just quite easy to get into quite an unhealthy way of life when there's so much alcohol and eating and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. It's the college and stuff experiences can be very tempting in that direction, and I think it's good to have a little balance, do some of both, but certainly it's a good point in your life to start realizing, hey, it's time to take care of myself and physically, mentally, and exactly. Kind of every aspect.
Yeah, for sure.
So what were those first experiences like? You talked about when you started going to the gym, you kind of went to the classes. What did you think about those?
Mm-hmm. So I really enjoyed it. I really liked I went with my flatmate as well at uni, and it's quite a nice way to get into fitness, I think, because you're kind of a community basis, which is one thing that helps you keep going. And also when you book into a class, you're kind of committed to it. So that definitely helped me get started. And with stuff like spin classes, I used to do them every week after a day at uni, and it kind of just helped me get into a routine and just end the day with something that was going to make me feel good about myself and really challenge me in a way that I don't academically. So I really enjoyed it. I don't really do classes so much anymore, just because I prefer, I really love training on my own now or training with a friend. But I think they're a great way to start, and they're such a great way for beginners to be able to get into fitness, because you've got someone there helping you, motivating you, telling you what to do, especially with weight training. I used to do a body pump class, which isn't really weight training per se, but it definitely is a good starting point. And when you're surrounded by a group of girls who are also probably there for the same reasons as you, it's just a nice way to kind of make a fitness community and have something in your schedule which you're going to stick to and keep accountable for.
like you said, the class aspect where it's a community, it's a group of people who do hold you accountable, do, make you feel good about coming and not necessarily make you feel bad
Yeah,
about not
exactly.
coming, but they say, hey, where were you last class? We missed you and all this stuff.
Yeah,
It's a good thing to
yeah,
definitely mentally like get in to the fitness thing in
yeah. I
that
used to
way.
do I did a HIIT class like every Friday with this Scottish guy, and oh my god, I loved going because it was only like half an hour and you'd get a real sweat on. But like, I would just feel like I had to go because he was so funny. He'd be like, "Fucking get on with it! Like, come on!" It was good fun.
That's funny. It sounds actually just recently bought a Peloton and it sounds kind of like that. People
Oh
that
my
that
god,
do
yeah,
those classes are sometimes some of the most funny like instructors that you'll ever hear.
yeah. And he was like, "I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you," but
Yeah.
and that's kind of I like that. Like that's what it's all about.
So what were some of the experiences and your thoughts leading up to going to see that personal trainer and then, starting more of a weight training style of program?
So I kind of always wanted to try it. I did do like a bit of stuff on my own. Like I did a guide. I can't really remember what guide that I did, but I did just like a kind of at home training guide, one that's like from online. And I wanted to like grow my bum and all that kind of thing. So I kind of went a couple of times on my own, but like I wasn't really sure what I was doing. So yeah, I went to see this trainer basically just because I had no confidence. Like, I didn't know how to use anything. Like I didn't really know how to squat properly and all that kind of thing. And just having someone there to like take you through a workout and just tell you, this is what you do and this is the correct form. But it's just such a helpful way to start. And I think so many people are kind of too afraid of the gym but like everyone has to start somewhere, and nobody knows the correct form when they start, and nobody's super sure of the gym when they first begin. But if you have someone there just to show you through it and show you the correct form, I mean, that for me was just great because it really helped me gain the confidence that I have now to just, go into the gym and do a workout that doesn't bother me whatsoever. But
Right.
yeah, it was just a really good starting point to kind of get there.
Did you have trouble with handling like, oh man, I thought, when I started out I could, I was making such good progress and then now I'm kind of like slowed down. How did you handle that kind of change?
I didn't really notice like massive physical changes at the start. I think now I look back on like when I very first started compared to now, physically I've changed so much, but obviously you don't really notice that like as you're going along. I think just generally like I learned to actually enjoy what I was doing. I learned to enjoy going to the gym, and I wouldn't just go to the gym because I wanted to change the way I looked. I went to the gym because it's a part of my day that's for me and a part of my day that I really enjoy, just to work on myself and like not do academic work. So I think that was really important for me to just actually have something which I love, and I do love it. And so the whole of last year, basically after I had those sessions, I was weight training probably 5 times a week when I was at uni, and I still do now. And I just love it. And if I have a physical goal, then great, which sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But yeah, it's learning to actually love doing it for you rather than just constantly working for a physical thing. That's really helped me, build a good habit and a good relationship with it. And the same with food in that sense as well.
I think once you understand the benefits, and that can sometimes take a while because maybe there's no one there to tell you that, hey, there's more benefit than just the what you see in the mirror to what we're doing. But I think once you do understand that, it
Yeah,
gives you more of an appreciation. It helps you to stay consistent and stay steady with basically just staying on track, staying on your program, staying on what you said you were going to do.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's also just that feeling of like when you like I always say to people on on my social media, I always say, you don't need to like for me, I love lifting weights, but it doesn't have to be that. It's just finding exercise that you enjoy because you're never going to regret doing exercise. Like it's always going to make you feel better, and that's half the reason. Like the mental side for me has so many benefits. So like going to the gym for me when I'm like working hard on something academic, that's like my hour where I escape from that, and afterwards I just feel way less stressed. Like I just feel 100 times better, and I think more people need to realize the mental side of it as much as the physical side of it, and that's when you're really gonna combine the two to love it.
What motivates you now to continue to train and continue to go to the gym and do all that stuff, the healthy lifestyle?
I think now I've got to a point where with training and with my diet that, I mean, I'm happy in myself with how I look, but actually I always say like I've only just kind of started with this because there's a lot of I've set myself a lot of goals, and like physical and mental goals in a way that I want to reach. Like, I want to create a physique that I am happy with my physique, but I don't think there's anything wrong with being happy and also trying to really improve on that. I mean, I'm in my final semester of uni now, so I've got a lot of work on, and training's a big part of that for me with managing that. Like if I do my work and I know that I've got, you know, my hour where I'll train and I'll just have that hour for me, that really helps me get through that on so many levels. If I train in the morning, then I know that I'll be able to concentrate better and probably work better. And if I train in the afternoon, which normally I do, it's like a stress relief for me, and I just feel so much better afterwards.
Do you train with a personal trainer now, or do you just train, you know, based on what you're learning through this certification?
No, I don't now. Well, actually, I've now got a coach, which I'm starting with that on Monday. So she's made me a program and nutrition goals and all that kind of thing. But no, all of this year I've just kind of been training on my own and doing my own workouts. I train with my flatmate, and when I'm in Edinburgh, and that's really nice because, you know, she's learned a lot from me, hopefully, in terms of like weight training, because she's quite a runner. But it really helps. It's really nice to train with someone because, you know, you keep each other accountable, and it's nice when it's freezing cold and you've got someone to walk to the gym with. But yeah, and then occasionally whilst I'm at home, I'll train with the trainer that I first started with. I'm just kind of doing my own thing at the moment.
Do you ever find yourself, whenever you train kind of like by yourself or based off your own programming or whatever, do you find yourself not achieving as much or not pushing yourself as hard?
Yeah, 100%. This is one of the reasons why I've signed up with a coach, because I just don't push myself as hard as I should half the time. And, you know, I program around like what I enjoy doing, which, yeah, it's nice to do that, but sometimes you got to do things which you don't enjoy to make progress. So yeah, I'm actually really excited to start with a coach because it's going to give me something to really work towards and actually really challenge myself with my training. So I think a lot of the time you can do a lot more than you think you can.
In your fitness journey so far, what has been one of your biggest challenges?
Well, it's quite a hard question, you know. I think just finding something that I think just finding a routine that I could stick to, and when actually a big challenge for me. So in lockdown, whilst I was still doing, I was doing like all my exams last year and all my coursework and stuff. That was whilst I was in lockdown, and I was training through that, just at home. So it was obviously very different from in the gym. I had no equipment whatsoever. And then once I'd finished all my exams and everything, I kind of just lost all motivation to work out. Like, I just couldn't be bothered to do it. I didn't have anyone to be like, oh, do you want to go to the gym? Like, I just had myself. And even though I knew that I could get an effective workout in, that it was really challenging, especially when I got to the point where I was like, oh, I haven't worked out in a week. I mean, I was feeling worse for it, but I just couldn't be bothered. Like, I just lost my kind of mojo, if you like. So yeah, I did find that really hard for a point because I don't like training at home. I never have, and I don't really like training without equipment. Yeah, so that was not very fun.
How did you kind of solve that motivation during the lockdown issue, or did it just kind of keep going?
I kind of just gave myself the time off, which I wanted. So I had like a couple of weeks where I was just like, okay, you know what, I'm just going to train when I feel like it, whether that's not at all or whether that's twice a week, that's fine. And then after that, I was kind of like, oh, I'm just not feeling very good. Like mentally, I feel like so much better when I am training regularly. I do think, when you need a break, you need a break. But at the same time, you kind of just need to discipline yourself a little bit. So I was just like, you know what? Like, I need to stop doing this and actually get into a proper routine again. I wrote myself out like a program where I would do 2 lower and like 2 upper workouts a day, and I would just be like, get outside and go and do it. Like, it was summer, so it was nice. I used to work out in the mornings, and I did like skipping and just new kind of things, and I actually just started enjoying it again. But yeah, it was a bit of a challenge when I kind of was just like, ugh, I can't not be bothered to do another home workout.
Yeah, I went through the same exact thing. I'm not a big fan of body weight workouts, home workouts. I really enjoy the weights. I enjoy, just getting away from that scenery, and that's in just that in itself.
Yeah, that's half the thing, isn't it? Just getting out and like walking to the gym.
Right. Yeah, even that is just like a mental break in and of itself. Just getting out and going somewhere new to look at a different, different 4 set of walls is sometimes a good mental break. What's the situation like now as far as lockdown goes?
So it's full lockdown again now here. I came home from Edinburgh for Christmas holidays, and I'm actually still at home because I'm just not really in a rush to go back at the moment. Because I live in a 3-bedroom flat in Edinburgh, and I live in the countryside here, so obviously I've got a lot more space and things to do here rather than being in a city in a flat. But yeah, they're both in full lockdown at the moment, which kind of sucks, but we're just getting on with it.
I know a lot of people that I've talked to especially have said stuff about just the mental side of going to the gym and not getting to do that, and kind of falling into...
Yeah, it's been really tough actually. Like, I've actually probably found it harder this time around, and obviously it's been shorter, but it's been a lot harder in terms of the fitness side of things, because at least in the summer it was warm and you could kind of go outside. But I have got some equipment now, which is quite nice. So I'm just kind of pushing myself to do it, and I feel 100 times better when I do. But it's harder mentally in terms of the fact that it's so cold and dark, and just like don't have much motivation to actually train. But I am, because it's helping me create some structure and routine in my life at the moment.
During the summer, when things were a little bit more on the lockdown, and also just people were a little bit more wary of what was going on, that would be, getting outside, going for a walk in the park was something that I really enjoyed doing. Tried to do that as much as possible.
Yeah, I actually just got a real appreciation for just like going for a walk. Like, it's actually so nice. And I listened to so many podcasts and started reading so much in lockdown. Like, I learned a lot, which is actually really nice. And just like going for a walk is great, like mentally and for your fitness side of things. So yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Outside of the fitness world, what do you enjoy, like, hobbies and stuff like that?
I love cooking and I love baking. I've always loved baking. I used to bake like every weekend whilst I was at school. I like reading. I've got 2 dogs as well. Oh, 3 dogs, sorry. Which I love taking them for a walk.
3 dogs sounds like always something going on kind of day.
Yeah, they're a handful. One of them's going to be 16, so that's really old.
Yeah,
but he still comes out every day. And the other 2 they're very well behaved, to be fair. They're all Labradors, so yeah. Especially nice now in the winter, because I actually have a reason to get up and go for a walk because I take them. Whereas I don't think I would be half as motivated to go for a walk if I didn't have dogs to take with me.
I think it's really important for, if you're not a reader, if you're not into books, to find some way to expand your knowledge base, and podcasts are good. Certainly you have
definitely.
YouTube's good. There's tons of educational things out there, but I think just investing a small amount of time per day can go a long way in not just like, learning, and which is important, but just in like developing new interests, developing, connections with new people and stuff like that. I think is really cool and really important to do.
Yeah, 100%. It's been so helpful for me actually, because I go for a walk every morning, and then I read for half an hour, and I do that before I check my phone. And it just puts me in a really good headspace to start my day, because if I just like lie in bed and scroll through my phone, like that's just not a good way to start your day. Whereas if I kind of have half an hour where I'm not distracted by anything, I haven't even looked at my phone yet, and I've probably learned something, it just puts you in a much better headspace to kind of have a good day, which is really nice.
Getting back to the health side of things, as far as the nutrition goes, have you ever struggled with that? Or have you always kind of been, balanced and moderate on how that like the nutrition side of things?
Yeah, so I definitely have struggled with it, I think. Like before I kind of went to the gym properly, whenever I would kind of just be like, okay, I'm going to go on a diet, which means that, and I'm going to work out every day. I would kind of stick to this diet for however long. But then, I'd eat a chocolate bar and then I'd be like, oh, well, I've ruined it now. So I might as well just stop and eat everything. But I think I've come to a really good place now where if I want something, I'll eat it. And if I don't, then I don't, and that's fine. I eat pretty well most of the time. Like, I definitely think the 80-20 thing is a great way to live your life. And well, it works for me anyway, because when I want something, I'll have it. But most of the time I eat well because it makes me feel better and aligns with what I'm doing in the gym. So yeah, I've just come to, like, nutrition's so important. And I think so many people are like so uneducated about what your body actually needs. And, they'll be like, oh, I'm going to go on a diet, so I'm going to cut out carbs. Like, that's not the best way to lose weight.
Right.
Like, to lose weight, you simply need to just eat less than you're expending, which I think it took me a long time to learn that. But yeah, no, I think I've got to a place with nutrition now where I'm still learning, of course, but I've learned a lot, and I think it's so important to not under deprive yourself of food that you need, but also food that you want, because that's really just not going to be helpful to you mentally.
I agree. There needs to be a balance. Do you have any experience with like fad diets, like keto or paleo or something like that?
Yeah, no, I personally haven't, but like, it's funny actually, I did an Instagram post the other day because I got an email from someone being like, oh, would you like to try our keto diet? And I was just like, I didn't even reply, because I was like, if I reply, I'm just going to get really angry. But I was just like, no, because we need carbs. Like, I'm sorry, but everyone needs them. They're our body's main source of energy. I just don't believe in cutting out a food group. Like, well, I mean, for me anyway, it wouldn't work. Like, if you cut out your body's main source of energy, the likelihood is you're probably going to feel pretty shit for it. So, no, I've never really done them. I did kind of try and cut out sugar once. And then I kind of came to the conclusion that I was like, my life's better when I have chocolate. So yeah, I won't be doing that again. So much like conflicting information out there. Like, it's no wonder that everyone's trying these rubbish diets, but it's just like, really, if you want to lose weight or whatever it is you want to do, like, just eat less. Like, it's not really about, well, of course it's a bit about what you're eating, but just eat less and move more. Like, that's going to help you lose weight, not trying one of these stupid diets, which is just not going to work.
I think the most challenging aspect of health in general, diet and exercise, is the norms we try to place on what we should look like. And, I think the most important thing is to be healthy and to feel good. Your weight is so unimportant, in my opinion. If you want to look a certain way, you can certainly achieve that, but you can also achieve it through healthy means, and you can, have a broad diet, and you can exercise in a healthy pace. But I think
100%.
It's very conflicting, as far as, like you said, it's very conflicting because, there's people out there who are saying you should look like this, and then there's good information out there saying, well, you should probably, be within a certain weight, but it's more about being healthy. And I think that last message needs to be what is spoken more.
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm the heaviest that I've ever weighed now, but I feel great, and I'm probably at one of the best, like, physiques that I have been. So I think it's really important to go by how you feel rather than, the scales or whatever anyone else is trying to tell you.
So going into the new year, what kind of goals do you have?
This year's going to be a big one for me because it's going to be the first year where I kind of finished education and I'm just going to be in the world. But my goals this year really are just to I want to keep learning outside of my degree, but I want to learn more. I want to learn about my passions, which at the moment is why I'm doing this PT qualification, because I want to learn more about that. I want to be able to help other people eventually, but just to kind of be happy within the everyday, because I think so often you look towards the future. People keep saying to me, "Oh, Maddie, what are you going to do when you're finished with uni?" And I'm just like, well, I don't know at the moment, but I'm just kind of focusing on now, because I think it's so important to do that. Don't wish the days away. Have something every day which you're going to enjoy and that you're going to do for you. And that's kind of one of my biggest things this year, is just to create happiness in the everyday. I mean, it sounds silly, but just make sure that I have something to work on and look forward to each day. I'm not being like, oh, you can't get a job, but yeah, no, I think it's really important to find something to look forward to in each day, rather than so many people just live for the weekend, and I've just been like, I don't want to do that. I mean, I'm in a lucky position at the moment that I have a great life that I enjoy at university, but so many people just live for the weekend, and it's like, no, just enjoy each day as it comes.
So to wrap things up, what kind of advice would you have for somebody in a similar situation you were going through before you started out your your fitness journey?
I think my biggest tip would be just ask for help, because I think so many people are afraid to do that, when actually most of the time, especially for someone that works in the gym, they're going to be very willing to help you, and they're going to want to help you. Whenever someone, and I have had people, a lot of my friends ask me, oh, can you take me through a session in the gym? Can you show me how to use this? I'm like, yeah, of course I can. Because that's great. I'd love to be able to show someone and give them the confidence to hopefully be able to do it on their own. So yeah, I think that would be my biggest thing. Just don't be afraid to ask for help, because most of the time someone's going to want to help you. And if you want to do something, then do it, because, it's worth to think what if, rather than, at least if you fail, you've tried. And also you're not going to fail. So yeah, that would be my biggest thing probably. I think with the help thing, it's that doesn't even just go for the gym. It kind of goes for everything. I think a lot of the time people are so worried to ask people who are better than them, but why should you be? I mean, and for me, I constantly want to ask people who are better than me, because that's how you improve. I've learned so much from other people in terms of fitness, and I hope to continue to be able to do that. And also, for women in general, don't be afraid of lifting weights, because so many women have such a misinterpretation of what lifting weights is. This doesn't make you bulky. If anything, if you're lifting weights compared to if you were doing nothing before, you're actually going to be leaner, because it's a form of exercise. So, and I think it's such a great form of exercise. But other than that, it's just find what works for you. Our bodies are made to move, so I think it's really important that we do that, and it's gonna improve so many areas of your life if you get some movement in there every day. And also, depending on what your goals are. I've had people say to me, oh, yeah, I really want to go and lift weights when I've lost weight, and I'm like, no, not when you've lost weight. Do it now. It's such a great, if that's what your goal is, then that's great. It's going to really help you get there. So yeah, I think we should continue to destigmatize weight training, especially for females, because it's an amazing thing, and it's an amazing method to reach your goals no matter what they are, really.
100% agree. So I really appreciate you coming on. I really appreciate your time today.
Of course.
And
thanks so much for inviting me on.
Would you like to let the people know where they can find you?
Yeah, my Instagram is _ Madeleine Alice.
Awesome. Alrighty, that is the episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you picked something up, and don't forget to subscribe to The Weight Room. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, and please leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcast. Like and comment on YouTube. All those things are greatly appreciated. And until next time, have a great day, and we're out.